The Phillies in all aspects of the game recently, winning 5 straight against their division rivals. Season series now 7-4. Today, Joe Ross goes in the series finale looking to work out the Phillies again. Welcome to Nationals Park, a beautiful day for a baseball game. The Phillies in town. Nats trying to sweep the Phils, but a very difficult day in the life of our country. The flags are at half-mast in D.C. atop the White House, the Capitol, and of course here at Nationals Park. Bob and FP, welcome to the ballpark. And of course the Nats have a relationship with the Orlando area for 12 years. They've trained in Vieira, just over a half hour away. Our prayers, our thoughts, well wishes with the victims, their families, their loved ones on this very tough day in America. So a ball game to be played, FP. Nats offense has been outstanding lately, racking up runs. In fact, since last Sunday at Cincinnati, they're hitting .333, averaging over 8 runs a game. Yeah, they've won 9 out of their last 12 ball games. They're playing well. They've played well against the Phillies all season long, and they're taking care of business against the teams they need to take care of. Look at the last 5 games against the Philadelphia Phillies. My, how times have changed. You remember 2011, 2010, the Phillies had their way with the Nats. Well, the Phillies in rebuilding mode right now. The Nats in win the World Series mode. So you see the numbers, and that's what they should be doing against a ball club that's trying to get better. So Joe Ross, a couple of wins, both of them at Philadelphia this season. He's been very stingy, nearly 15 innings, 1 run given up. Well, that's good because he's coming off his shortest outing of the year, where he gave up 5 runs in just 4 innings of work. So Joe Ross looking for a big bounce back, like we saw from Tanner Roark yesterday. So the Nats have been getting it done, and they did it the first time they faced Adam Morgan. That was in Philadelphia. 9 hits, 6 earned runs, a couple of home runs in just 6 innings of work. So in June, the Nats averaging just under 7 runs a game, hitting .302. The offense is a juggernaut, going for the sweep of the Phils in D.C. today. Brought to you by PNC Bank, for the achiever in you. By Navy Federal Credit Union, proudly serving the armed forces and their families for over 80 years. Federally insured by NCUA. By Eastern Lexus. Some things are simply impossible to ignore. The strikingly designed Lexus NX Turbo and Hybrid. And by Airlines for America, where airplanes land, opportunity takes off. Nats looking for the sweep. They've won 9 of their last 12. Joe Ross is 2-0 with an 0.61 ERA in a couple of games against the Phillies. It's breezy today. Wind blowing from left to right, from one corner to the other. Humidity way down. That's the good news. It's 90 degrees out there. So at least a bit of a dry heat, not exactly desert-like, but hopefully our folks in the sun on the right field side of the ballpark will be okay today. The Phils tied with the Braves, lowest batting average in the league at .230. Kobayashi, he's been back now off the DL for 9 games and 26 at-bats, hitting .231. And something about Nationals pitching he likes. Doesn't like it that much against the rest. But most of the regulars out there for the Phillies today, except Jimmy Paredes, is in right field. So here's Joe. Not easy to face one team time after time in the division, but he's done well at that this year.
Yeah, he's had success against them. And like I said in the open, coming off the shortest non-injury related start of the year, 5 earned runs on 4 hits and 4 innings of work, struck out 5. Walked 4, the most this season. He was uncharacteristically wild, just a little bit off last start. So we're looking for a big rebound from Joe Ross today. See opponent's average at .238, and he is ready to go.
A couple of ball clubs going in different directions. The Phillies are scuffling. They've lost 12 of 15, 16 of their last 21, and now they're 9 games back of the Nats, 3 back of Miami, the third-place team in the division. The crew chief, 19 years in the big leagues for Jerry Lane. He's got the plate. Scott Berry, Gabe Morales, Trip Gibson around the bases today.
There's your defense today behind Joe Ross. Michael Taylor getting the start in center field. Chris Heisey in right. Infield the same. Catcher the same. And Chris Heisey gets the start in right field today. Jason Worth staying in left.
And by the way, the Mets at Milwaukee, trailing 5-0 after 6 innings. We temper our enthusiasm on that because Terry Collins took ill this morning, and according to reports has been taken to the hospital in Milwaukee. We'll know more and pass it along if we get that information, but maybe keep the Mets and their skipper and their Mets family in your thoughts today as well.
Absolutely.
Odubel Herrera in the series, 1 for 6 with a walk. He's been hit by a pitch. Drills one to center. Michael A. Taylor right there. Always great to get that first out on just a couple of pitches, especially against somebody like Herrera. So the Nats averaging 8.2 runs their last 6 games. They've won 9 out of 12. 5-0 or 5-1 by the way during those 6. Joe Ross, lefty's a little better. He'll find ways to get better as he goes through the early part of his career. And the Phillies are just scuffling offensively. They're .230 batting average with Atlanta, bottom 2 in the league. Only the Braves have scored fewer runs and hit fewer home runs. Next up for Pete Mackanin.
All those ones below, Pirates, Reds, even Phillies, those were interim jobs. This is his first gig full time.
Ball drilled off to the left by his shortstop, Freddie Galvis. 227 overall. 1 for 6 with a walk against Joe Ross. The only Philly in the lineup today that has more than 2 hits in this series is their cleanup man, Tommy Joseph. Off speed for the swing and miss. One out, 1-2 pitch, up and in. Middle infielders, they step onto the outfield grass, both of them. Now Espinosa comes walking forward a bit on a ground ball foul.
Well, while it was a short outing, just 4 innings for Joe Ross last start, he did throw 91 pitches.
Very rough start against the White Sox, just could not find the plate. The Nats got him off the hook, winning 10-5, coming from 2-0 and 5-2 behind. Swinging a foul tip, and it escapes the mid of Wilson Ramos. You know, in a game like that, you're looking, how did he finish things off? Well, he had 65 pitches in 2 innings, which is unbelievable, but he retired his last 7 batters.
Try to take that into today's performance.
Always a positive in there. And your team won the ball game. 2-2 with 1 out, target away.
But, you know, the Nats have shown a lot of resiliency coming back from early deficits. That's not a thing you want to make a habit of, especially when you're playing the upper echelon teams and the better bullpens in the league.
You mean like starting tomorrow?
That's where I'm going with that. Yeah, absolutely. Don't want to make a habit of that because, you know, when you got the guys that throw 99, 100, and some of those bullpens throughout the league, it's going to be tough to come back from 5 runs. Not that they can't do it. You just don't want to make that a habit.
And the Nats fell way behind in the first 2 games at Chicago, so they owe the Cubbies a couple. They're coming in tomorrow night. There's another foul and a really good battle here by Freddie Galvis. The Nats by 3.5 over the Mets, who are way behind today. Then the Marlins in there. Two balls, 2 strikes. Galvis acting like the guy who hits in front of him, Herrera, in this AB. Now he works it to 3-2.
Well, I think for Joe Ross, after the command troubles that we've chronicled already his last start, real important for him in the first inning to remember that he's a guy that attacks the strike zone. Probably made some adjustments with Mike Maddox over the last 4 days, and to throw strikes and get that confidence level right back where it was before his last start.
Pitch number 10 of this at bat, a swing and a miss. Great hook to the left-hander for the strikeout.
Look at the spray chart on the right, and then a late slider on pitch number 10 to Freddie Galvis. You see his fingers on top of the baseball. That's why he gets the late break. Love the Exmo release point right there, guys. We showed Aaron Nola yesterday with his fingers on the side of his curveball. That's why it wasn't breaking as sharp as we've seen it in the past. Important to get the fingers on top of the ball.
There's Maikel Franco. He drills one to center. 3rd hit of the series in 8 at-bats with a base on balls. That's big for the Phillies. That gets Tommy Joseph to the play here in the first inning. That's Franco's first hit against Joe Ross in 7 at-bats. So here's Tommy Joseph, the 24-year-old first baseman from Phoenix. 6+ years in the minors with the Giants and the Phillies. So that Hunter Pence deal at the end of July will be 4 years ago. And now the Phillies see some big time benefit from that transaction. Target in. Better get it in there, and they do.
You know, it's not an easy thing for Pete McCannon to tell Ryan Howard, hey, we got this young kid. We're going to take a look at it, because there's a lot of respect for Ryan Howard and what he's accomplished as a baseball player, as a Philadelphia Philly. So, you know, everybody's saying, oh, he's hitting 150. His career is over. They're piling on right now. Well, I feel like if you've had the career I mean, all of us would have loved to have had half the career Ryan Howard's had. So it's never really pretty late in your career, and it's not easy for a manager to tell a guy with such resume that, hey, we're going to look at the kid.
That's a guy who's hit 366 home runs.
And he took it very well. He said, hey, I understand. You know, that's how it goes. I'll do whatever I can to help. But look at the numbers. 366 home runs, 1,155 RBI, a World Series championship. I mean,
and another element to it, FP, his entire career with the Phillies, going back to 2004. That is so rare these days.
And now he's getting beer bottles thrown at him by the home fans. I mean, come on, the guy's had an amazing career.
He's been one of the best Phillies in their history. Swing and a miss. Well said, partner.
Thank you.
Couple of strikeouts for Joe Ross, top of the first. Now Adam Morgan goes to work. Ross got that breaking ball going today. baseball park on a Sunday afternoon in June. It's hot for those folks in the sun. The Nats up to 251 team batting average, 7th in the league, 5th in runs, 1st in home runs. Jason Worth right in the middle of everything. Last 10 games over 320, slugging, driving in runs, hitting a few homers, scoring a lot. And Jason Worth's batting average for the season now is just 1 click under 240. This is Adam Morgan, 26-year-old lefty. He'll face the Nats and a lot of righties in the lineup today.
Yeah, as a 6-4 loser, his last start on the 6th against the Cubs gave up 3 runs on 8 hits over 6 innings of work. The Nats got him for 6 runs on 9 hits June 1st at Philadelphia. And get this, he's lost his last 5 starts with an 8.42 ERA, 37 hits in 25 2/3 innings.
And we'll see how he handles this. Career record 6-12.
Stay cool.
24th career start. Here's Michael A. Taylor, who's had a good series. Three for 6 with an RBI. Michael now 17 hits his last 13 games started, and he just drills a one-hopper to Cody Ashe. It's coming for Michael A. Taylor. His batting average now up over 220 after a lot of time in the high 100s.
I mean, he had the big spring, right? Everybody's saying Michael A. Taylor, he was all the talk in spring training. And then you got to level out sometime. That sometime just happened to be opening day after Ben Revere got hurt. So now he's coming back up. And there goes the no-hitter. Michael Taylor with, what did he have? 3 hits yesterday and a double. Starts this one out with a single. Dusty loving what he's seeing. He said it's not a platoon in center field, that he's just giving Ben Revere the day off because he wants everybody to be fresh for the Cubs tomorrow.
Yeah, there's a lefty out there. In
case you're wondering.
Worth didn't play yesterday, but Friday, a hit, 2 RBIs, 2 walks.
He keeps getting 3 hits. Dusty's going to be right. It isn't going to be a platoon.
And as usual, there's Ben Revere. Jason asked the second base umpire, Gabe Morales, to move over to the shortstop side behind the pitcher. Doesn't like that baseball coming out of the umpire's body. Against his former team, done a lot of damage over the years. Jason's also hitting .362 against lefties. Fastball a beauty to the outside edge, 1-1. 0 for 3 against Morgan when they faced each other. That was 11 days ago in Philly. Nats won that game 7-2. 6 of the runs in 6 innings against Morgan. Change up outside, ball 2. You'll hear an occasional gust of wind up here at altitude come whipping in the booth.
Yeah, it's like being on the top of a mountain. Same thing. We opened the windows. We were fine. We opened the windows, and now we're sneezing.
We're sneezing, coughing.
All kinds of stuff blowing through here.
Yeah. You should see the allergies at 800 feet off above the baseball field. It's pretty amazing. That happened to us in Chicago the other night, too. It was windy coming in off the lake. Opened the windows, and everybody in the booth sick in 5 minutes.
Our job's really tough.
3 and 1 to Worth. I know the fans are just crying in their
really tough
Bud Lights for us right now. That's a good at bat by Jason Worth. Over but low, 2-on. Nobody out with the best hitter in baseball coming up.
Here's your Phil's defense. I don't know what that first sound that came out of my mouth was. Ashe Herrera Paredes in the outfield. Galvis Franco left side. Hernandez Joseph right side. And Cameron Rupp beyond the plate.
Murphy in the series, 3 for 8, 3 RBIs. 0 for 4 against Adam Morgan. The ball skips in the dirt. Murph puts up the stop sign for the runner Taylor at second.
At this very moment, there's 2 ball clubs thinking the exact same thing. That's here we go again.
On opposite sides of the ledger.
Exactly.
Nats against the Phillies in this series, 17 runs on 24 hits. Way outside. We don't talk about his slugging that often, but he has a sizable lead over the home run guy in Cincinnati, who we saw last week, at Adam Duvall, even ahead of Nolan Arenado, Jay Bruce, and Cespedes of the Mets. Murphy's also 5th in the league with 42 runs batted in. That slugging percentage goes up because of the extra base hits, 31 of them, and that's a strike.
So he's ahead of Ben Zobrist, you're telling me, in that department.
So vote for Daniel Murphy, right?
Exactly.
Three and one. And today, because Bryce Harper's on the bench getting a day off, there's not a lefty on deck cleaning up. It's right-hander Ryan Zimmerman. He, like Worth, had the day off yesterday. Murphy taking all the way there. He doesn't mind hitting with 2 strikes. A lot of damage in counts like this. 8 of his last 14 hits, extra bases. 86 hits. Number 2 in baseball. Xander Bogaerts of Boston has gone crazy lately. He has 92 hits. Jose Altuve and Daniel Murphy, 86.
I don't think Dusty will put the runners in motion here with nobody out. We'll see. Left-handed hitter up, clear throwing lane. Murphy does put it in play.
They're holding. Ball 4. Bases loaded. Yeah, don't run yourself out of an inning against a guy who's having a hard time commanding the strike zone.
No need. Plus, with nobody out, you start both runners. A line drive's a triple play.
Bob McClure out for an early visit. Crowd getting into it now during the pause.
Excuse me, Carp. So Ryan Zimmerman's hitting. 2 walks in front of you. Are you aggressive right here? He likes to take the first pitch. He likes to see pitches his first time up, so there's no surprises his second time. He's told me as much. But are you betting that after that conference at the mound, he lays one right in there for you and you get 4 RBI with 1 swing? Or do you take and make him kind of keep struggling out there, so to speak? Let's see.
Yeah, this is a fascinating pitch to keep an eye on if it's a strike.
It is. The easy way out's an automatic take, and it's probably the smart thing to do. The gambler would swing.
He does, and he didn't get a fastball. A lot of grand slams. Hitting almost 290 career with the bases loaded. Ryan 7 RBIs his last 9 games. That's a good pitch, 81 on the changeup. Sort of a delayed call by Jerry Lane that he rang up strike 2. Third base Taylor, second base Worth. So a base hit and 2 walks, and there's Murphy at first. Now the battle begins. Way inside, ball 1.
So funny, when a team's going well and they're swinging it, you're thinking to yourself, well, if he doesn't get it done, the guy on deck right there is going to do it. When a team's struggling, you're like, this guy better get it done because there's no way the guy on deck's going to do it. And it just goes to show you the different mindset that maybe fans and even the guys in the dugout have when you're swinging the bats.
Brian made an offer, pulled his bat back, 2-2. Now the pressure in this at bat. Of course, the pressure of the inning is already on the pitcher. But he had Zimmerman 0-2, and he doesn't want to go 3-2. Ryan got a piece of that breaking ball that was sitting up a bit. First inning could be a big step towards a sweep today. Two, and it was close enough for Ryan to be hacking. That breeze is really whipping from the left field foul pole over toward the other corner. Ryan's got opposite field pop when he's swinging well. And a fly ball the other way. Now the wind's going to take this some and push Paredes all the way to the track. 3 runners trying to move up, and they all 3 do. Good base running by Daniel Murphy at first, and Jason Worth over to third. 1-0 Nationals.
I mean, if you're going to rate sac flies, that's a 10 out of 10, isn't it?
Yeah.
Everybody advances. The Nats up 1-0, and did you see the wind take that one? I was wondering at contact, is this going to be deep enough to score Michael Taylor? I thought yes, but no way did I think it was going to go all the way to the track in right field. Great read by Daniel Murphy on first base. Jason Worth obviously advancing. Michael Taylor scores. 1-0 Nats. Great at bat by Ryan Zimmerman.
Wilson Ramos.
He got all of the jobs done.
Yes, he did. And he got his 29th RBI in the process. Wilson takes one in there. He's 3 for 3 with a home run and 4 RBIs against Adam Morgan. Ramos that night in Philadelphia, you knew it was going to be a big night. His first one was an infield hit. Then he dropped one into right, hit a 3-run homer to right, and he skies this one out to right center. The breeze taking this one to near the track. So the Nats are going to sac fly themselves to a 2-0 lead, and now Murphy's on third base.
Wilson Ramos, you see the exhale right there, knows that he just missed a 3-run shot. I mean, good swing, sac fly, he'll take it, good at bat. Somebody's got his arm, they're not letting go. He missed somebody. Got to go back and get him. There you go. Can't leave anybody hanging.
Ramos, RBI number 35. Now with Murphy at third, Anthony Rendon, 2 outs.
Boy, this is a day, if you're Jason Worth, Michael Taylor, and Chris Heisey, you just saw those last 2 fly balls. You got to keep your feet moving in the outfield. The wind is whipping. It's taking the ball with it. Sometimes it's real breezy, sometimes it's not, so can't get stationary out there. You got to keep moving.
Ball 2 to Rendon. He's hitting .350 against lefties. And in the series, 1 for 4, 2 RBIs. 2 for 3 against Morgan.
Yes, absolutely, without a doubt. If you get a strike, let it rip. I don't know if I remember Rendon being a 3-0 green light guy.
Another base runner. A single, 3 walks now, around 2 sacrifice flies. Here's Chris Heisey. Heisey led off that night in Philadelphia. Had a base hit in 4 trips. An infield hit it was. He made an interesting comment to me last night after the game. I congratulated him on his first pinch hit this year. That was not a home run. He said, I've been trying to hit singles. Thus, the home runs come, right? Just trying to make contact, put a good swing on the ball. 3 home runs and then a single yesterday.
I remember the post-game interview after his walk-off home run, that long game against the Twins, when he said, I took a real big swing and missed my first swing. I said, hey, don't swing. You're over-swinging. Relax.
He takes a big swing there and hooks it out of the ballpark foul.
And he shortened up his swing. And what did he do? He hit a home run, walked the Twins off. So in that one swing is what he was telling you, Carp. You try to hit home runs, sometimes you slow yourself down. You get too big.
One ball, 2 strikes. A throw over, and Murphy came well down the line at third in case something went wrong with the throw. A lot of room up the middle to the left of the second base bag. That pitch low and away. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Freddie Galvis really playing Heisey to pull. Mercedes-Benz with the entire AB here. Heisey to the bag and just strolling over for the force out, Cesar Hernandez. The Nats turn a leadoff hit by Michael A. Taylor into 2 runs thanks to 3 walks and 2 sac flies.
Park. Joe Ross has definitely noticed opposing teams adjusting to him now that there's more tape of him out there, and now that teams are facing him the third time around. The Phillies' 3rd time they're facing Ross this season alone, and now Ross knows it's up to him to make adjustments to those adjustments. He's tried doing that by doing 2 things: putting more focus on reading swings during an outing to get a feel for how teams are game planning against him, and he's also recently adjusted the grip on his changeup on the advice of Tanner Roark, rotating the ball a little bit in his hand, and he likes how that changeup has been feeling.
First pitch, top of the second. Thanks, Dan, with our Coons.com sideline report. Over 2 million vehicles sold and counting. Ball 1 to Jimmy Paredes. That was a sinker outside. Paredes in the series 0 for 2. He had 15 at bats with the Blue Jays with a homer, 2 RBIs, 7 games before they designated him for assignment May 30th. Then eventually, 2 days later, traded him to the Phillies for cash considerations.
Just got an email from Elias. This is the first lead the Nats have ever had after the gala.
They keep track of that?
No, I just made it up. I feel like it is, though.
Line drive right at Ryan Zimmerman. Marla Lerner Tenenbaum, who directs the Nationals Dream Foundation, did remark last night that the Nats are now 7-2 all time. Wait a minute, it's 9-2 now all time.
After the gala?
No, on the day of the gala.
Oh, okay.
And then she added to a few laughs that the record the next day is not that good.
Yeah. But while we're on it, you did a fantastic job hosting, partner.
Thank you, sir.
You're amazing.
Well, all the guys were disappointed. They thought they were getting Lindsey Zarniak, and they got me.
Yeah, that did stink. I'm not going to lie about that.
Yeah, you don't have to. I thought about bringing a life-size cutout of her onto the stage with me, but
No.
we thought of that too late.
No. I mean, you did good. Last minute, you nailed it. Knocked it out of the park.
It was fun. Thank you. $400,000 and still counting raised by the Dream Foundation. All the guys were there. Ryan Zimmerman got a pass because of the expansion of the Zimmerman roster.
He had the whole day off. Good for him. He deserves it.
Yeah. Right where they had him played, Murphy up the middle with a nifty one-handed scoop on a Cameron Rupp. Hot ground ball, 2 outs. Nats are doing it to the Phils right now. 5 in a row. Been a while since we've seen those Astros. 7 straight against the Braves this year, and then 5 in a row against the Twins. It goes way back. Cody Ashe with 2 outs. In the series, 2 for 7 with a walk and an RBI. By the way, the Mets have picked up some runs, 5-3 late innings at Milwaukee. They are behind. '83, a beauty. Joe Ross, 25th career start. His record 10-9 with a 3.31 ERA. Ball 3.
Didn't miss by much.
Yeah, I was waiting for the right arm to come up from Jerry Lane. Never did. Outside edge, he got it. Ashe coming back from a right oblique muscle that kept him out for 2 months. 25-year-old infielder turned outfielder. 3-2. Swing and a miss. That off-speed stuff serving Joe well. Thank you, Tanner Roark and Dan, for our report. And a 1-2-3, top of the second.
start against the Mets. It's college rivalry day. Virginia Tech. You can get that acrylic cup on the right. A special ticket is required. Go to nationals.com/college rivalry day. Gonna be a fun night at the R. It was last year.
Inside the Numbers brought to you by Jeep. Long Beach State, and there's one of the dirtbags. Danny Espinosa stepping it. They call themselves that, okay? FP's alma mater, the U. ASU, South Carolina, where Bryce Harper's brother played. Espinosa, deep left center. See you later. It's another one for Long Beach State and for the Nats. 3-0 Washington. And Danny Espinosa, 8 home runs his last 15 games.
Show's really on tape delay, folks. We just stuck that in there. Edit it, put the college graphic up, let the Long Beach State dirtbag go deep on cue. Danny Espinosa does it again, folks.
86 home runs by the Nationals. And Joe Ross lifting one to left. To the track, and it's going to come down into the glove of Cody Ashe.
Did you hear the crowd?
Without that wind, Joe Ross has his first big league home run.
Did you hear the crowd and the collective O? So the home run by Danny Espinosa, everybody rocking and rolling here at Nance Park. And then Joe Ross saying, we're going to go back-to-back for the 9th time this year. They've already done it 8 times. Listen to the crowd.
I mean, he hit that ball a ton.
He did.
Right into the teeth of the wind with a towering fly ball.
Yeah, I think Danny hit his below the wind, a low line drive, kind of used the, what is it called now? The brew house out there for cover.
Yeah. Well, the guys are swinging at Taylor, a hot shot to short. Galvis throws him out, 2 down.
Here's Danny. Look at that big leg kick. Looks like he got a fastball away. Can't tell you how many home runs Danny's hit this year. I want to say almost all of them on fastballs away that he's pulled. And he used the protection of that Bud Light loft in left center field. The wind had nothing to do with it. 106 miles an hour, 419 feet for his 11th home run of the year.
3rd from the right side of the plate. He's got such a level swing from that side, it appears.
We have a bag.
Yeah, we have a wrapper or something blowing between the mound and home plate. So Adam Morgan and Jason Worth waited for it to blow to the backstop. Worth walked first time up. You know, if Ross had gone deep there, how many times you think 8 and 9 hitters in the National League, with the second being a pitcher, have ever gone deep? Yeah. That would be rare indeed.
And who has an 8th hitter that has 11 home runs in baseball?
Exactly. Danny's going to surpass his total of last year before we know it. Espinosa, 13 homers, 37 RBIs last year. Now he has 11 and 26. Worth serves one, right field line. The wind's going to blow this into right where the line is, and Jason kind of tackles himself to stop after rounding the bag. That's a base hit. He came to a very weird stop there, and I hope he's okay.
I think he did a slide thing around first base. He's all right. That's a beautiful thing for Jason Worth. And watch this. This has a lot of hang time. Normally in the big leagues, something in the air this long is caught, but with the wind kind of blowing the ball all over the place, and Jimmy Paredes playing Jason Worth deep, there's a slide to slow himself down to get back to first. He gets a bloop single, Texas leaguer, duck snort, whatever you want to call it, he'll take it.
3 hits for the Nats. Here's Murphy. He walked first time. To the second baseman, Hernandez. Things happening quickly in the bottom of the second. A 10-pitch inning for Adam Morgan, but the leadoff guy did damage. Danny Espinosa levels off. Jacks won almost 420. Left center, 3-0 Washington.
Third inning, beautiful day for baseball and a beautiful day for taters here at Nass Park. Remember, our Washington, D.C. Lexus dealers are doing $250 at Children's National Health System for every home run a Nats player hits this year. So keep them coming for a wonderful cause. Lexus, the pursuit of perfection.
Top of the third. Joe Ross, one pitch, one grounder. Murphy to Zimmerman, and that's it for Cesar Hernandez. So 5 in a row since the Michael Franco base hit, and the pitcher is coming up, Adam Morgan, who's 0 for 13. In his career, 2 for 39 with an RBI.
Boy, good news for the Nats right now. The Cubs are up 13-1 against the Braves. They're getting it all of their system today. All their hits, all their runs. There you go. 13-1.
It's going to be some kind of series, folks. If you don't have tickets, get online at nationals.com right now. Cubbies Monday and Tuesday, 7 o'clock. Another 4 o'clock game on Wednesday, getaway day. That'll be your last chance to see the Nats for another almost 2 weeks after that, as we're back on the road again.
Well, Nats Park could be the center of the baseball world this week. 2 best records in baseball going at it. Everyone going to be here. It's going to be a playoff atmosphere. A lot of media, a lot of nationally televised games. We'll be here.
Yeah, we're not going anywhere.
People always freak out when the game's on ESPN. They say, "Are you guys on?" Yeah, we're still on. When the game's on ESPN, we're still here.
Yeah, they only have exclusivity on Sunday nights.
MLB Network, I think, is doing the game on Tuesday. We'll still be here. We're on.
We're all about hometown flavor here. 3-2. Adam Morgan from Marietta, Georgia, went to Alabama. Phillies third rounder 5 years ago. 3-2 with 1 out. Right down the middle. Strikeout number 4. First time around, Philadelphia goes 1 for 9 against Joe Ross with a Michael Franco single.
Oh, run back to that fastball. It looked like Adam Morgan didn't like the call, but Pitch Track said it was right down the middle.
Yep. Almost pulled it right to the center. That was Nissan with our Pitch Track, and here's Odubel Herrera, lined out hard to Taylor, first time up. And he brings that one in from outside. Good command by Joe today on the heels of that crazy outing in Chicago the other night when he just couldn't find home plate for the first 2 innings. 1 ball, 2 strikes as Herrera's late for another one. And Ross, 83-85. He's got the Phillies befuddled with his off-speed stuff. 7 in a row. Little blueberry on the snow cone this afternoon. Get all over that one, buddy. Watching the Orioles drop one 10-9 at Toronto today. We welcome you to Nationals Park. Washington 3, Philadelphia nothing after 2.5. So let's check in on some numbers by PNC. Hitting by month. The runs per game is up. The batting average up. On base slugging, you name it. So welcome to our audience on Masson 2. Orioles losing a slugfest at Toronto 10-9 today. We've had a couple of those in this ballpark this weekend. Nats lead this one 3-0. Ryan Zimmerman leads off. Bottom of the third. Hits it well. Right field foul pole and about maybe 15 feet to the right.
Got the right idea. That's where the ball's traveling today, to right field.
Yeah, that's where he hit his sac fly. They got the Nats going after a base hit and 2 walks in the first. Scored their second run when Ramos followed with a sac fly to center.
All right, souvenir.
And Zimmerman a 2-hopper to the charging Freddie Galvis at short. Nationals got their run in the second. Leadoff man Danny Espinosa batting in the 8th spot today. Right-handed home run to left center.
Ladies, it's all about you. June 30th is the Nats celebrate Ladies Night. Reds will be in town, 7:05 start. All kinds of fun stuff before the game. You get that infinity scarf before the Nats take on the Reds at 7:05. To purchase your special ticket, visit nationals.com/ladiesnight. I don't think I could have said that any more creepier. Ladies Night. I just did.
Ramos now in 1 game plus 1 at bat, has 5 RBIs against the left-hander Adam Morgan.
Boy, he's swing. I don't ever remember seeing Wilson Ramos this locked in. I mean, his feet are so slow. His front side staying closed to the last second. His head's perfectly still. He's always been a good hitter, but taking it to the next level right now, the relaxation, the tension-free swing, has been impressive.
Fair ball right by the bag. Franco got him on one like that earlier in the series, and he throws out Wilson Ramos. That was reminiscent of a second inning play here on Friday night.
Yeah, took a double away from the Buffalo, just off the end. Still got enough of it where you're thinking that's going to get by Franco, but he goes to the backhand, just gets it in the web of his glove, and knows he has a lot of time to throw out Wilson. Nice play.
Both of those grounders he hit to Franco right over the bag. Anthony Rendon takes the strike. He walked first time up.
I think with Maikel Franco, if you're Pete Mackanin, you have to like what you've seen, but you know, strike zone awareness, pitch recognition, those two things start to advance throughout his career. He's going to be a good player.
Yeah, he's got a lot of power, good speed. We've seen his arm.
Barrel awareness, maybe cutting down a swing with 2 strikes every now and then when the situation dictates it. I didn't know he had that strong arm either. The more you see, the more you like.
Strike 3 call. Rendon frozen on an Adam Morgan fastball that runs to the outside edge. To the middle innings we go. That was a 9-pitch inning, but the Nats lead 3-0. National Troop recognition brought to you by DynCorp International, for decades serving those who protect our country. Yes, sir, Danny Espinoza. Flags at half-mast today after the horrible tragedy in Orlando, Florida last evening. And again, we repeat here on Masson, all of our family to everybody down in Florida, families, loved ones, friends of those affected by that tragedy. We're with you, and we stand with you on this Sunday afternoon. Top of the 4th. Freddie Galvis, 3-3-0 Nats, 0-1-0 Phils. Galvis struck out swinging first time up. The Mets have a runner aboard with 2 outs in the top of the 9th at Milwaukee, trailing 5-3. Nationals could lead by 4.5 at the end of the day. Ross, by the way, first 3 innings, 41 pitches, 27 strikes, 5 strikeouts. Off speed has been very effective. A little early to be talking about a season high in strikeouts, but May 5th at Chicago, 9 Cubs went down. Struck out 7 Marlins May 21st at Miami. Contact made this time into the air in right center. Every ball that's out there is going to be pushing over toward the right fielder. Heisey has it.
Well, speaking of Miami, congrats to the U. Going back to Omaha today. So all my boys at the University of Miami, don't be satisfied. Now you go win it all. Get you a ring. But we used to call it the Miami Invitational. You know, that College World Series thing? But we'd decide who we wanted to invite to it.
Oh, yeah. Is that right? Well, if you've never been to Omaha, it's a lot of fun. My one time there was with a rookie TV analyst by the name of Ray Knight. Hot shot, third base, Rendon wrestling that ball. What a good play. It is the hot corner, 2 outs.
Well, it's not often you see ground balls with hook to them, but I think that ground ball had a little hook to it. Watch how Anthony Rendon kind of gets caught in between a backhand and a forehand. Probably didn't have time to backhand it. It was hit so hard. Watch this. Does this have hook spin to it? Yeah, see how it's kind of chasing him toward the line? What an athletic play by Anthony Rendon. That was a really difficult play that he made look super easy. Really difficult. Watch this. That ball's hooking.
Yeah.
It's almost like a cut fastball. It's chasing his right leg and didn't have time to backhand.
On the second replay, it looked to me like it hit the very end of the grass and then stayed down. Boy, is he quick. The Nats still only 22 errors knocking on Formica here in 63 ball games. What a good comfort to the pitchers. They know if they keep it close, their teammates will get them runs. Their defense will not betray them, and that makes jobs easier for starters on a staff that has a 3.22 ERA. Tommy Joseph struck out swinging first time. Target in from Ramos. That was way off the plate, and Joseph was still ripping. A lot like a foul ball he hit in the first inning. Chasing Corey Seager of the Dodgers, who the Nats will see in just over a week. Trevor Story has slowed down in Colorado, but he's still hit 16 so far. That's it for the inning. 10 in a row for Joe Ross. 6 strikeouts, and that's a 10-pitch inning for him. He's on a roll with the Nats the same. For hybrid, all-wheel drive, and unexpected performance. Visit buyatoyota.com today. 3-3-0 Nats. Joe Ross on a roll, 10 batters in a row retired. Heisey, Espinosa, then Joe. Geico President's Race. And what is Tom Jefferson doing lurking behind the wall? It's a 5-man race today, and this one would be quite a finish. George and Teddy going at it. And George Washington is #1 today.
See, that's one of those races where they definitely threw some glue down the tunnel before they came out. You know, every once in a while they'll have the skits, but I feel like there was wagering there.
Yeah. Probably some smack talk behind the wall.
I mean, if I was a racing president, I would bet every single day.
That ball is gashed by Heisey way over Kobayashi. And Chris Heisey continues his good hitting in spot duty for the Nats. 13th hit of the year. And Heisey with his second double. He has a triple and 4 home runs.
Well, I think Stephen Drew called them the Wolfpack yesterday after the game. The nickname they've given themselves, the bench. And find me a bench that's been better in baseball than Dusty Baker's bunch. Chris Heisey getting her done again. Doesn't matter who Dusty puts in, they're getting the job done.
There's Stephen Drew. 3 for 6 in this series with a homer, 4 RBIs, and a walk.
There's a part of that, Carp, I forgot to mention yesterday. I was talking about how when you play, you have ammunition to go up there and pinch hit. It also makes you feel like you're part of it. Look at this jump.
Oh, my goodness. And then he stepped off. So Heisey thought Morgan was going home, and he had the poise to shut it down and step off. And speaking of step, somebody might have got spiked at the end of that play. 1-5. Maikel Franco might have taken something there with Chris Heisey.
Well, you see what Chris Heisey was thinking. He did his homework. Adam Morgan's a one-look guy, so as soon as Adam Morgan's head swung to the plate, Chris Heisey took off. The only thing he didn't account for is that inside move, and you see Franco getting cleated. I didn't see it. Maybe early by Chris Heisey. Trainer's out for the Phillies.
So 1-5 on the caught stealing.
Early though, before he takes off, a couple minutes early, as soon as he's headed through. So there's certain guys, Carp, when you're on second, they're one-lookers, they're two-lookers. Sometimes they get into rhythms. And you look at the scouting report, and you look at Adam Morgan, it says he's a one-looker. So watch. I'm Chris Heisey on second base. I did my scouting report. Maybe he's a no-looker. And he's looking at the plate, and he takes off. Tried to ambush him, didn't work.
Head trainer Scott Sheridan seems satisfied with Franco being all right. No balls, 1 strike to Danny Espinosa. Line drive home run to the bullpen, left center, first time up. Then this one's off to the right. Swing and a miss on a breaking ball, diving down and in. Just like that, 2 outs. Morgan's second strikeout of the day. He'll face Joe Ross. Inside the numbers with Jeep, the numbers just keep on coming. The Nats, one of their best months ever. So franchise by month. Obviously the Expos, all the other entries on that list.
I'll tell you what, the April of 1996 ball club wasn't that good. They just scored 21 runs in Colorado one day to make that number real high.
And how do you know that? You were there. Look at Joe Ross putting a charge into another one. Almost homered to left field first time up. Flies deep to Herrera in center. That time up. 7-pitch inning. Into the 5th inning we go at Nats Park.
3-0 Nationals as we cruise into the top of the 5th inning. Joe Ross on point today here against the Phillies. It's time for Toyota Case for Kids. Washington area Toyota dealers want to help children and their families by making a $37 donation to Children's Inn at NIH for every strikeout by a Nats pitcher this season.
Joe Ross, 4 innings, 51 pitches, 34 strikes.
6 strikeouts, no walks, just 1 hit.
Yeah, retiring 12 of the 13 he has faced. Jimmy Paredes, Cameron Rupp, Cody Ashe. And the former Oriole Paredes hits a hot shot to short. Espinosa went backhand and went right through him. That ball hit 101 miles an hour by Jimmy Paredes. And for the Nationals, their 23rd error. Danny Espinosa, 6th of the year.
But very similar to Anthony Rendon's ball that was hit to his right, and Espinosa goes to the backhand, but he went to it pretty late. I think that ball was hit a little bit harder than he anticipated. He's just getting to it, just getting the glove down, and it squirts underneath.
A rare error by the Nats. Next fewest in the league, 29 by the Giants and Dodgers. Cameron Rupp, the catcher. Good time of the day to have the lead as the shadows come creeping from the third base side.
Shadows creep. That's what they do. I mean, there's nothing else. There's no other way to explain it. Right?
Yeah, every time you look at them, they're in a different spot, but you can't see it move.
They can only creep. They're very one-dimensional shadows.
There's a big breaking ball. Joe Ross has had that going on today. That slider has been deadly. Rupp ground ball to Murphy right where he is at the moment, in a line from home through the umpire to him up the middle. Mets lost their game at Milwaukee 5-3. And I'm sure they had a lot on their minds today with Terry Collins taken to the hospital this morning. Two balls, 1 strike. Slow roller Espinosa to Murphy, and a 6-4-3. The shortstop got rid of that one in a hurry, giving Murphy all the time he had.
A nice job by Joe Ross to getting that ground ball, making Danny Espinosa feel better. How about not fielding that hot shot? There's nothing better as a defensive player, especially an infielder. When you make an error, you get the very next ball hit to you. You don't have to sit there and think about that error for a long time. You get right back on the horse and turn a 6-4-3 double play. Good feed. Tailor-made. Don't have to worry about the runner hitting you. All good.
High in the zone, a strike to Cody Ashe with 2 outs. According to the Mets, and this was passed along to us by Dan, Terry Collins will remain at the hospital in Milwaukee for tests and observations. So we wish our very best to one of the skippers in our division who we have a ton of respect for, Terry Collins. And the ball slicing to the left field corner. Getting out there deep, and it leaves the ballpark. Cody Ashe goes opposite field for his first of the year. Took some of the Philly fans here a while to realize that was a home run as it disappeared into the shadows. 3-1 ball game.
Well, it looked like the changeup from Joe Ross, and Cody Ashe really driving at that. Watch him stay through this pitch. And that caught me by surprise. I didn't think he had opposite field power. I didn't think that was going out. That double play pretty large all of a sudden.
Cody Ashe, 28th career big league home run. It comes with 2 outs in the 5th. Here's Cesar Hernandez. Yeah, who would have guessed an opposite field homer into the left field corner from where that wind is coming?
The garage blocked it.
Swing and a miss. Ross bounces back with his 7th strikeout of the day. Top of the order for the Nationals in the 5th. Michael A. Taylor on the way. 3-1 game. Cuttery, home of the smile back guarantee. No small print, just big smiles. And a little dancing to go with it.
Could use a few smiles today, right?
Yeah. Tough day. 3-1 Nationals after 4.5. Top of the order coming up. It's time for the proverbial add-on inning here. Nationals have done a good job of that lately with some early leads. Michael A. Taylor's hit the ball sharply twice, 1 for 2, clean single to left, and then a hot shot to Freddie Galvis. Changeup floats outside.
Looks confident again.
18 hits now in his last 14 starts. And Michael A. Taylor in this series 4 for 8 now. Trying to find that winning touch. Adam Morgan. Taylor in the Chicago series was 3 for 8 with a couple of RBIs. So stringing a couple of series together here. He's liked Phillies pitching.
Playing back-to-back days for the first time in a while too.
That's a good take that might tell you how well he's seen the ball. Might have been victimized on a breaking ball in the dirt like that until recently. So a payoff pitch. Three-2 again. That's a curveball that comes back and gets the outside half.
Ball's down.
Strikeout number 3 for Morgan. Mercedes-Benz will track it.
I'm sure Mercedes will find it in the zone, but watch the catcher. His glove almost hits the ground. We talk about framing pitches all the time. Cameron Ruck took a pitch that was moving down and made it seem even lower by his glove going with it. Didn't think that was a strike.
Jason Worth on base twice, a walk, a run, a single. Blooped one just inside the right field line last time. Morgan working really quickly now. He's only given up one hit to the last 9 batters. He's due to bat first in the 6th. Nats have wrecked the Phillies bullpen around a little bit, so he keeps this up. He'll be in the game for a while. Joe Ross in a position to pitch deep today. 62 pitches, 5 innings.
Heads up, 3-0 green light.
Borderline strike. That's not the one you want. Then he gets the changeup.
Everything away.
And then diving for another strikeout. He has fanned 3 of his last 4 hitters, and Morgan has 4 on the day.
In case you haven't heard, the big bad Cubs are coming to town to play the big bad Nats. Center of the baseball world next 3 days, folks. July 13th through the 15th. Go to nationals.com and get yourself some tickets to a big June series.
Cubs are 43-18 after they demolished the Braves this afternoon. Up and in to Murphy.
Braves got a late safety, 13-2 final. But how many times did you see a team score 13 runs one day and crickets the next? So I'm counting on
a lot.
I'm counting on that.
Well, and Max Scherzer might have something to do with that if it happens. Pretty good matchups for that series. The Nats will miss John Lester and Jake Arrieta as you peruse the central standings, with St. Louis and Pittsburgh playing a 5 o'clock game today. Scherzer, Kyle Hendricks tomorrow. Gio, John Lackey Tuesday. And then Steven Strasburg and Jason Hamill Wednesday afternoon.
All right, man. I feel like I'm going to go to those games. I'm going to check them out.
1-2 to Murphy. 0 for 1 with a walk today. Still seeking his first career hit. 7th plate appearance against Adam Morgan.
I'm just hoping this isn't a home series for the Cubs. That's all. I mean, they travel large, and they're very loud. They have been in the past here at Nats Park, especially since they've gotten good.
Yep.
So look at, they're already here.
Maybe. Advanced scouting.
They're already here. Make them go away.
High gas, and Murphy strikes out. So Morgan strikes out the side, trying to contribute to a momentum switch. Nats still lead by 2. top of their order, top 6. When you have insight, you know how to handle your finances with confidence. It's all brought to you by PNC Bank. For the achiever in you, 22-year-old Trey Turner, 56 games now at the AAA level, still over 300. On base percentage, right around 370. He was 17 for 17 in steals. Now he's added a couple more. And in one day with the Nats a week ago Friday, 3 for 3 with a walk in Cincinnati.
That's like giving somebody the keys to Ferrari and let them drive it around the block, and that's it. Give the keys back. Ferrari's done.
Yeah, back to your Studebaker. Here's Adam Morgan, who struck out looking first time. Joe Ross misses low and away with his 63rd pitch.
He'll be back.
Oh, yeah. Next time we see him, maybe back to stay. We'll see. Great to have such talent in the organization. Lucas Giolito had a really nice week on the mound. Ross went to 3-2 on Morgan first time. Now it's 2-1.
Seems like Jerry Lane will work with you today if you're close.
And trying to bunt with Anthony Rendon way back at third. Phillies box score, a base hit up the middle. Michael Franco, first inning. Their only other hit, the Kodiashi opposite field home run that he wrapped around the left field pole last inning. That ball's well hit to right center. It's going to plug the gap to the scoreboard where Taylor picks it up. And Adam Morgan, at least to the pull side, the best Phillies swing of the day.
I mean, you just see more and more pitchers helping themselves out. You know, it used to be an automatic out in the lineup, but you talk about guys like even Joe Ross, Madison Bumgarner. I mean, there's all kinds of pitchers in the National League that can hit nowadays, and here's another one. Good swing.
Runner in scoring position, nobody out. Odubel Herrera is next. And he drills one to the left center, or rather left field corner. So Morgan will score easily. Herrera into second base, and just like that, the Phillies are back in the game. 3-2 now. Herrera only his second hit in 9 at-bats this series.
Yeah, elevated sinker from Joe Ross. Probably belt high, middle away with a little movement right onto the barrel. And so, did he think he had a home run?
He just stood there for a while.
Well, that's a big bat flip on a double. I'm sure that got a lot of attention in the first base dugout. Might have to show me that one again.
I was wondering why he stood there. It never had the elevation to get out of the ballpark.
I know he got hit yesterday. I don't know if that had anything to do with it, but and it was a double either way, so he didn't sacrifice a base by the bat flip, but that was something that will get the other team's attention every single time, and twice on Sunday.
Now they're trying to advance that runner to third. Get him over there with one out if it's not a hit.
Watch this on a double from Odubel.
Wow, are you kidding me?
That's a grand slam, game-winning, walk-off home run bat flip on a double. You be the judge. You win the game with a homer, you could do that. You hit a double, you're going to get a lot of attention, and it's not good.
That ball is scorched. That'll tie the game. And the Phillies 3 shots in the 6th inning to tie things up at 3.
That was quick. So third time around, the Phillies are figuring out Joe Ross, who was on cruise control up until this inning. Freddie Galvis with a nice piece of hitting right there, going with it. So double, double, single, and we're starting this one all over again.
And Jason Worth, aware of Freddie Galvis' speed, over in a hurry to cut that thing off. So now a runner at first, nobody out, 2 runs in, and they have 3, 4, 5 coming up. Franco 1 for 2. Then he hit a hot shot that Rendon had to really corral to throw him out 2 innings ago. So he's hit the ball with authority twice. And he just tried to make it 5-3. Well, first time through today, not a problem. Really the second time, only 2 hits. Third time around, 2 shots. How to play.
You know, we see Tanner Roark yesterday. His goes the other way. Why? Well, he's got 4 or 5 pitches, and he sets guys up the first time. He saves looks for you second and third time that you haven't seen the first 2 times up. So I think Joe Ross, as he advances in his major league career, is going to learn how to do that. What Tanner Roark is so good at, Joe Ross still learning. You know, you save a pitch that a guy hasn't seen until his 3rd time up. And when you have 4 or 5 at your disposal, he went, you know, maybe I don't show you my curveball until your 3rd time up. Maybe I save that for you until your 4th time up. So for Joe Ross, pretty much fastball slider guy, 2nd and 3rd time up, you got a pretty good idea of what you're going to get. Maybe not the same sequence, but you've seen the rotation, you've seen the movement, and you've picked up the release point where Roark will maybe save his changeup for the 3rd time around, or not show you his slider, or cut the fastball all of a sudden when he's been sinking it. So, you know, his average goes down 2nd, 3rd time around. Joe's goes up. He can learn how to do that.
Brilliant yesterday. 6 hits, no runs, 7 innings. Hot shot. Rendon got it, dropped it, threw it. Murphy relays. Zimmerman picks it. How much can go on one 5-4-3?
How many times can a 5-4-3 double play ball hit the ground? There's 1. There's 2. But Ryan Zimmerman with a great pick to complete the double play.
Of Arlington to check out the 2016 CLA 250 lease at just $299 a month. So the Nationals offense on fire, 52 runs last 7 games. Danny Espinosa, after the Nationals, scored on Zimmerman and Ramos sac flies in the first, went deep, leading off the 3rd, so it was 3-0. Joe Ross roughed up in the 6th to the tune of 2 runs on 3 hits, all hard hit, but the double play ball saves that frame. And now it's Zimmerman, Ramos, Rendon, bottom 6. Ryan Zimmerman continues to play outstanding first base defense. We knew the hands would be great. I'm just not sure we thought he would settle in like this. Sac fly, ground ball, 0 for 1. 29 RBIs for Ryan. And Morgan is dealing. He's retired 5 in a row and 9 of the last 10. Zimmerman drives one to right. Ball still going, looking right into the sun. Paredes makes a good grab.
Well, Ryan's got the right idea. He's played in this ballpark long enough to know that on days like today, you hit the ball to right. And a nice play by Jimmy Paredes on the run, sun in his eyes.
So the Nats box, Worth and Murphy walks after the Taylor hit led to 2 runs in the first. And then since Danny Espinosa's home run, only a Worth bloop in the second and a Heisey double in the fourth. And then he was picked off second base. Actually left early, caught in a rundown. The only hits ever since Morgan shut it down and got Heisey between second and third, the Nats have had nothing to deal with here. Off speed to Ramos, 0-2. Another one in the dirt. Strikeout number 6. And they've come in the last 5 of them have come in the last 7 batters.
And just a reminder, as you enjoy cold one this Sunday afternoon, to look forward to Miller time later in the ball game. That's brought to you by Miller Lite. This game is done a 180. It didn't look like Adam Morgan was long for this game the way he started. It looked like Joe Ross was unhittable, and all of a sudden, it's done a 180.
Yeah, talked about that possible momentum shift an inning ago. Little did we know they would come out slugging in the 6th. We never know how it would have turned out, but now that base running play in the 4th inning looking pretty big. The Nats had a 3-0 lead and a runner at second, nobody out. Oh-2. Adam Morgan last time out against the Cubs, 6 innings, 3 runs, 8 hits. Nats battered him the start before that, so pitching pretty well today.
Well, Morgan's a guy that's got to be at the knees or below, and all of a sudden he's making the adjustment with all of his pitches, keeping the ball down.
One and 2. Paints the inside corner. Starting to strike out nearly everybody in sight. 7 for Morgan into the 7th. 3-3 game. you by T-Mobile. It seems like we're checking in on Big Papi quite a bit lately. 21 RBIs last 17 games. Look at the batting average and the slugging. Out of sight. Another Griffey has been drafted, but is he going to play football or baseball?
Ken Griffey's grandson got drafted.
And Ken Griffey Jr.'s kid, Jake Arrieta of the Cubs. He joins the 10-win club. Steven Strasburg led the way on that. So there it is from T-Mobile, all around baseball.
Just felt super old.
Jimmy Paredes, top of the 7th.
Maybe the shadow's helping out Adam Morgan all of a sudden, but the Phillies have been swinging it, so maybe scratch that idea. I don't know. Searching.
Suddenly this becomes an important shutdown inning for Joe. He's due to bat 3rd in the 7th. If he relinquishes the lead here, they'll have to hit for him. With this pitch count, he's got a chance to stay a while.
I like the off speed in the shadows. You can't pick up the seams. It's harder to hit the off speed.
So 89 bunted straight down by Paredes, who is 0 for 2. He's hit the ball hard twice. Line drive to Ryan Zimmerman, that hot shot that got through Danny Espinosa. And then the Nats turned to double play, which was big. Cody Ashe would then home run. There's David Hernandez. Morgan is at 89 pitches through 6 innings. Two pitch. In the air to left. It's got a lot of slice on it. The wind may help it stay in. It does for Anthony Rendon.
Pretty good range for a third baseman going that far to catch a foul ball. You don't see that very often. So Anthony Rendon, watch how far he goes for this. He's already in the shift, so he's playing towards shortstop. A lot of foul ball room down there on the left side. You called it perfectly. Came back a little bit. It was looking like this was going to tail into the stands, but watch Rendon put on the brakes. Make the adjustment. Use 2 hands for all you young players out there. Watch. 2 hands. Perfect.
Squeeze it. There's Cameron Rupp 0 for 2 on a couple of grounders.
Well, he's done it with the leather at third base this weekend, huh?
He's been great all year. He has 3 errors, and I remember you and I disagreeing with the calls on 2 of those.
Good call. That they were bad calls.
Yeah. Two and 1.
I just feel like that Gold Glove staying in Colorado for a while.
Yeah.
As good as Anthony Rendon's played, that guy in Colorado is real good.
Nolan Arenado, some things you just can't control. All you can control is how well you play, and Anthony's done that. Inside out swing, and the count goes to 2-2.
We said that. You remember when the Rockies came to town, and Arenado is, in my mind, the best defensive third baseman. You remember we were showing the highlight. He made 3 or 4 errors in that series when he was here at Nats Park last year.
Inside edge, not quite. 3-2. Cameron Rupp, big strong catcher, 4 homers, 12 RBIs.
That's the call you get as a catcher when you block a ball and there's nobody on.
So Joe went inside again. Nissan, the entire AB here.
In, out, up, down.
3-2 to Cameron Rupp. Well, he kept throwing strikes and he won the battle. Now a simple throw to first for the second out. Next 5 ball games will take us into the West Coast trip. Cubs here for 3. The getaway day, 4 o'clock on Wednesday. Then it's on to San Diego for 4. Saturday and Sunday there as well, Petco Park. Then to the Dodgers. And on the way home, with a day off, the Nats will finish with 3 in Milwaukee. So we've been home for 3 days and talking about leaving again. We are so fickle. But after that trip, the Nationals will have a lot of home games piling up. There's Oliver Perez.
Very transient ball club so far this year. Day off in Cincy, day off in Milwaukee, stay hot.
Had one in Chicago too. Two balls, no strikes.
Yeah, I don't think Kodiashi's going to get any two-seam fastballs on the outer third again. Joe Ross going 2-0 slider.
Turn that one over. The changeup missing away. 3-1. Mid-90s on the pitch count now. Due to bat third in the bottom of the 7th.
It might have been a backup slider at 80.
That's a tapper by the mound on the charge. Espinosa. Quick hands, quick feet, strong arm. 1-2-3-7. That was big for Joe and for the Nats. Bottom of the order coming up. They are all getting ready to stretch, even those in the shade. On Masson, brought to you by American Standard Heating and Air. It's their all-star sales event with up to $1,100 in instant rebates or 0% APR for 36 months. By Ocean City, Maryland. Let us show you a good time in Ocean City, Maryland. Book now at OCOcean.com. And by WGL Energy. Visit WGLenergy.com for easy ways to green your energy and help the environment. Breezes blowing on a hot Sunday in D.C. And we're heading to the bottom of the 7th inning. Our next television game features serious pitching. Max Scherzer, Cal Hendricks. Max is 7-4. Hendricks is 4-5, but he has a good RA, under 3 runs a game. And we'll get you going at 6:30 with Nats Extra on Masson. Johnny and Ray at the Yard tomorrow night. 3 huge games between the two teams with the best records in the National League.
The old ball game. You could join us.
Hey!
For the first Budweiser Bud and Burger music party on Saturday, July 9th, featuring 80s, 90s, 2000s cover bands playing live music from noon to 5. Tickets are $20 in advance, $25 at the door until June 19th. Use the coupon code BUD for a $5 discount. Visit nationals.com/BudMusic for tickets and details. Everybody having fun at the ballpark, looking for a couple runs to get even louder. And we'll see if they can figure out Adam Morgan, who's locked in here late.
Yeah, he's retired 8 in a row now. And 12 of the last 13. Chris Heisey, Espinosa, and then we'll see what Dusty Baker does with Joe Ross, who's thrown 95 pitches.
You know, I'd do Harry Carey and hang out the booth and sing the 7th inning stretch here, but they couldn't see me, I don't think.
See you, hear you, and if you fell out.
Yeah, I'm not the biggest kid in the world, you know. I don't know.
Hey, whatever it takes, buddy. Rally dance. Love to see kids with their folks at the ballpark. So here's Chris Heisey, who really hit the ball hard last time. Up against the left field wall with a double, but then trying to get to third with nobody out. They picked him off. And the off speed outside. 90th pitch of the day for Adam Morgan.
Fastball in, spin to win. Here you go.
He got off speed.
Thinking the same thing I was.
And Morgan, I mean, he gave up 2 runs in the first, but he gave up 1 hit. He got himself in trouble with 2 walks before the sac flies. As far as hits go, he's held the Nats down well today. 2-1.
Now you're thinking, well, he went 1-0 change. Did he go 2-1 change? Yeah, forget about it. I'm looking for the heater. There's a change. Those are the thoughts that go through your head in the middle of an at-bat.
Heisey saw a lot of off speed after that rocket he hit last time.
Okay, so I want to show you the way the wind's playing here at Nats Park. You usually don't see this. Danny Espinosa hit his home run to the Bud Light loft. So that building was kind of a fortress that blocked the wind. Joe Ross is going right down Half Street with this fly ball, and it was held up in the wind. Might have been a homer. Cody Ashe is using that parking structure in left field to block the wind as well. So 2 low home runs with structures providing blockage of the wind. And then you see right down Half Street where Joe Ross hit his, the wind was roaring in. Yeah, right in this area right there in the middle.
Danny Espinosa levels off and fouls 1-1. Adam Morgan sets a new big league record for himself with 8 strikeouts. Espinosa bends his knees and takes it. So Jonathan Scope of Baltimore, 5, hitting 8th.
But Jonathan Scope,
but he doesn't have a pitcher hitting behind him.
He's got a position player hitting behind him.
Yeah, big difference. 2-1. Danny Espinosa takes the hook, and it's ball 3. Base runners any way the Nats can get him right now. Joe Ross is on deck.
But Morgan's gone to almost exclusively changeups and sliders here.
Espinosa in the air, left side. Maikel Franco, 2 down. Joe Ross will hit. So he's already gone 7 today, and he may go further.
Nats fans, get on your computer right now. Fill out your 2016 Esurance MLB All-Star Game ballot. Vote up to 35 times. Vote today, vote tomorrow, vote the next day, vote the day after that. Vote for the rest of the time until you can't vote anymore. Go to nationals.com/vote.
So Joe Ross has pitched at least 7 innings for the 5th time this year. He's hit the ball well twice. First time up, the fly ball you talked about, we thought was going out of here in the 2nd. And then he hit one a ton out to the gap in right center. 1 ball, 1 strike. Adam Morgan due to bat 2nd in the 8th.
I don't even know if this means Joe Ross is still in the game.
Yeah, we've seen pitchers hit and then leave.
3-3 game. Maybe Dusty wants a full complement of his bench guys.
Yeah, he has nothing but left-handed batters left anyway, and Ross will reward that with a base hit. How about the 3 swings he's taken today? Solid contact every time, and Joe Ross has his 5th base hit of the year, 8th of his career. Plus, he's a good athlete, and you don't really have to pinch run for him here.
Well, nice swing by Joe Ross. Looks like he did get a fastball down the way, stays through it. Right back up the middle. I remember Joe Ross hit a pinch hit maybe against the Twins in that 16th inning game, just like that. Decision time for Pete Mackanin. You would think with a younger pitcher he wants him to have a good taste in his mouth, and after giving up 3 early runs, Adam Morgan had a nice outing here against the Nats, and Pete Mackanin going to go double switch.
Looks like Morgan to go 6 2/3. 5 hits, 8 strikeouts. He retired 14 of the last 16 batters he faced. So Taylor due up into the Phillies bullpen. Go the Nats in a 3-3 game.
For the Phillies here in the 7th inning, Michael Taylor will hope to continue this rally. We've talked about how Taylor has been getting things going offensively of late. He says he's just trying to keep it nice and simple and relaxed offensively. I asked Dusty Baker what he's seen from Taylor of late, and he noted that Taylor could have secured the starting center field job when Ben Revere was hurt. Obviously didn't work out that way. He said that sometimes when you have competition, now that Revere is back, that competition sometimes breeds excellence, and he feels like with Ben Revere back, Michael Taylor now battling for some playing time, that might play a factor in him coming around as of late.
Well, here he is with 2 outs and a runner at first. And a check of Joe Ross. 31-year-old David Hernandez, 29th appearance, 2.5 ERA, 37 strikeouts. just 10 walks in 28 innings. Taylor staying on it, fouling it, and the wind should take care of the rest.
But it's sitting up there for him. That's a pretty good swing.
103 pitches, 66 strikes for Adam Morgan. So Peter Bourjos comes in on the double switch. Cody Ashe out, and Jimmy Paredes moves to left. Taylor against Hernandez, career 1 for 3. Hits the mound, slows it down on its way up the middle, and Galvis scampers to the bag. Nats get their first base hit since the 4th inning. They've left 4 runners today, 3-3 into the 8th.
It's Miller time, brought to you by Miller Lite. Show you some double plays. This one in the 5th inning, right before a Cody Ashe home run. So who knows if that saved a run. You never know if Cody Ashe would have got the same pitch. And it's 5-4-3 double play to get out of a jam in the 6th after an Odubel Herrera double, an Adam Morgan double, and a single by Freddie Galvis. So Joe Ross will settle for the no decision here today against the Phillies.
And then turn it over to 27-year-old Sammy Solis. 15th appearance, 1.50 ERA. Looking to bunt for a hit. And a good thing for Cesar Hernandez to win foul. Zimmerman charging right at him. 18 innings for Sammy, 21 strikeouts. 10 bases on balls. He'd like that to go down. He'll face Hernandez, Bourjos, and Herrera here.
Fastball, curveball change. Fastball 94.
One matchup with Hernandez resulted in a walk. Top of the 8th.
And occasionally on that fastball, he'll make it a nasty cutter.
That's a nasty line drive, but Murphy's right there. Next up, Peter Bourjos.
There's Gio charting. Joe Ross going to hang out with his buddy now after a pretty good outing. We're just 1A in the 6th. It happened so quick. Double, single, boom. Tie ball game. I should say double. You would have thought grand slam, walk-off double, than single.
The way Herrera tossed his bat. Joe Ross didn't walk anybody. 7 innings, 4 hits, 3 runs, 8 strikeouts.
Starters hanging out.
95 pitches, 64 strikes.
There's the whole rotation, folks. Pretty good shot right there. I love that. All hanging out.
.350 Phils, .351 Nats. Borges first at bat against Sammy Solis, and we're seeing some battles here. Here's the AB. This battle from Mercedes-Benz. Count now just back to 2-2. Off speed, hammered into left. Peter Borges, first hit of this series for him. And here comes the double hitting, bat flipping Odubel Herrera.
Well, Phillies have some pretty good wheels on now. Peter Borges, pretty good at bat. Battle goes his way, so the go-ahead run on here in the 8th with 1 out.
Herrera is animated. I saw several times in Philadelphia when he'd draw a walk, he'd kind of do a little bit with the bat and the feet before he went down to first base. It just seems to be a guy who reacts to everything that happens out there when he's at the plate.
I'm all for that stuff when the time is right, for sure.
Yeah. In the series, 2 for 9. A walk hit by a pitch and an RBI on that double 2 innings ago. Sammy Solis had him way out ahead.
Boy, it's a quick curveball at 79. Maybe he sees a couple more of those. What do you think?
There's one. Herrera 1 for 2 against Sammy Solis. Had a base hit against him yesterday.
Important to keep Borges close. He can fly. I like that step off throw. That'll make you stay close to the bag, especially if it's a good firm one.
One with 1 out. Espinosa to his right. Murphy. No way to turn that. Herrera way too quick out of the left side of that batter's box, but 2 outs with Freddie Galvis coming in.
Time for some Lowe's home field advantage. Check out the differences of the Nats bullpen at home and on the road. Right there for you. I'll tell you what, Board just came close to oversliding second base on that, and that was almost a double play. Daniel Murphy actually asked second base umpire Gabe Morales if that was a good slide. Thought it was.
Freddie Galvis, RBI single last time, and a ball hooking foul this time. Thinking about that road ERA. He busted his bat on that, by the way. Nats have already been to Philadelphia twice, Wrigley for 4 games, and last weekend in Cincinnati, bit of a rough ride. Those are hard parks on the road. Yet to come, Coors Field. Oh-1 and a throw over.
I think that guy just snagged it from the kid, then he gave it to him. Okay. Now he's got it. We're good. I think Jason Worth was throwing it to the gentleman with the glove, the young man with the glove, and the guy ran a little interference and he gave it to him, so that's good. It ended well.
Yeah.
And that was a good catch over there.
Fan in the first row with the picker.
With the glove on. And he gave it away too to the kid.
Well done,
it was a
sir.
great play. Oh, I love it. What's going on here? Made a nice stab, gave it to the kid.
He brought his glove to the ballpark so he could give it away.
You almost have to give a foul ball to a kid now. If you don't, you're on TV, and I mean, you're just going to go home and get crushed on the internet all night.
Oh, 2 to Galvis.
Right? I mean, do you feel like you have to give it to a kid?
If there's one around, yeah, absolutely.
It's not like you have to go 4 sections like down around the foul pole to find a kid. But look at this is what I caught, and this is what I gave away. So here's the proof that I caught it. Yeah. But did the kid give it back? We need to find out.
No, he didn't give it back.
I need to find out. This is interesting to me. Gave it back. See, he just wanted evidence. Well, that's big points with whoever's sitting next to him. Give a ball to a kid. I feel like it's always a good thing, right?
He's a sensitive guy. Runner on the move, 1-2 pitch, swing and a miss, inning over. Sammy Solis gives the Nationals a scoreless 8th inning. And that sets it up for Worth, Murphy, and Zimmerman coming up. Sammy continues to shine. Hot day at the ballpark. Well-pitched game, well-played game. Occasional power here and there. Johnny and Ray have a lot to talk about. The issue yet to be decided, so tune in to the Nats Extra post-game show. It's presented by W.B. Mason. Jason Worth, 1 for 5 career with a walk against David Hernandez, who got Taylor on the ground ball to end the 7th inning. 2-3-4 for the Nationals here.
See if giving that ball to a kid is good karma right here.
Worth 1 for 2. Walk, run, first inning. Base hit, second inning. Valley only had 2 hits since his flare. Down the right field line.
I think you take right here. 3-3, bottom of the 8th. You're looking to.
Yeah, once the top of the 9th arrives, even if the game's tied, your closer at home can't get a save, so why not have Papelbon up? Worth taking all the way on 3-0.
One pitch, one spot, let it rip.
Strike 2.
It's a pitcher strike. You don't want that 3-1. You work hard to get to that count. You swing at that, you're swinging at his pitch. Now you got to swing at it, though.
Front door inside. The Nats have the lead run aboard, leading off the 8th. Jason Worth on base for the 3rd time.
Fantastic body language by Jason Worth to draw the walk. He goes 3-2 off speed, and watch Jason Worth. I mean, it's a close pitch, but watch this. Whoa, no, that's not even close, Jerry Lane. So now, if you're the Nats, you have to make this leadoff walk work for you in the bottom of the 8th.
Yeah. Jerry Lane, 29 years in the big leagues. Calling it ball 4. Here's Murphy. 0 for 2 with a walk. 2 for 7 with a home run against David Hernandez. Ball 1. That's well hit to left, but it's right at Jimmy Paredes. Quite a sound. 1 out. Ryan Zimmerman 0 for 2 today with a sac fly. 2 for 9 career. 3 Ks, 2 walks against Hernandez.
Careful if you go in there.
They do, and it's ball 1. Far enough in.
Complimentary throw over brought to you by the Philadelphia Phillies.
Complimentary and obligatory, right?
Oh, you got to pay attention to Jason Worth in a tie game in the 8th. Borges is playing no doubles and right. If Ryan Zimmerman hits that hole, it's 1st and 3rd, 1 out. It's an easy 1st to 3rd for Jason Worth.
Another check of Worth on a throw kind of down into the runner.
Dusty Baker looking for a run. He's on the end of the bench right now. Mike Maddox with him. I like how Mike Maddox usually joins him.
1-1 to Zimmerman. In the air, right side. On the angle, Cesar Hernandez. and then he drops it. That'll be an error, and Ryan Zimmerman still alive. Now, he was looking up into the sun, but the sun's coming more from the beyond third base side now.
I think he just dropped that. I don't think there's really any reason to find out why. He just clanked this. This is just a clank. I mean, he's right there. He's on it. Tried to use two hands, and I don't know if he lost sight and blocked himself out with his right hand. That might have been one where he's better off with one hand, to be honest with you. I think the right hand went up and blocked this line of view. Got to make that hurt, don't you? You're hoping if you're the Nats?
You don't want to give Zimmerman too many opportunities to beat you, and he gets one here. Ooh, he got a front door hanger. Straight back and went. Three ball game, bottom of the eighth. Worth at first, one out. And Zimmerman on a breaking ball, can't reach it, two down. Wilson Ramos is next.
You see the curveball from Hernandez, 82 miles an hour. I'm looking at my watch. This is, well, and looking at the shadows, it's tough hitting right now for both clubs.
Ramos popped up against Hernandez yesterday. Career 1 for 3 against him, 2 RBIs. And David Hernandez misses. Ramos got a front door and another shot right at the left fielder. Nats hit the ball hard twice. They've stranded 5. Papelbon on to try to keep it 3-3. Sweep this thing. Phillies have battled back, and now quite a battle into the 9th inning. Potomac Nationals back in Woodbridge from Thursday the 16th till next Sunday the 19th. Join the party at the Fitz, 703-590-2311. Visit PotomacNationals.com. Top of the 9th inning. 3-4-5 for the Phillies against an old teammate, Jonathan Papelbon, who comes into this game, the 35-year-old right-hander, with a 3.04 ERA, 25th appearance, 19 Ks in 24 innings. And boy, he and the Phillies have seen a lot of each other lately.
Yeah, the fastball this year for Jonathan averaging 90.8 miles an hour. The slider 79.6. The split 85.5.
Papelbon here Friday night 16th save of the year. So first up for the Phils, Maikel Franco. 1-for-2 career against the right-hander. And Papelbon whips one from one side of the plate to the other for a strike. Franco 2 hard hit balls, 1 for 3, first inning base hit. Boy, he takes some swings early in the count. Let's see what he does late in the count. Hector Neris, the right-hander, and the other righty nearest you, Genmar Gomez, their closer. So Neris, if it's tied to the bottom of the ninth, Gomez if the Phillies score.
Obviously, Papelbon's job to keep it 3-3 and stick around, folks. There might be a Bryce Harper sighting. That spot's due up 4th in the bottom of the 9th.
Yeah, how about that bench? Drew, Harper, Revere, Robinson left side. Two and two. On a pitch up, it's hammered to left and out of the ballpark. That thing was sitting up and Franco did not miss it. 4-3 Phillies. Maikel Franco, 11th of the year, 33rd RBI.
Well, that's a slider that's just sitting there. Look at cement mixer right down the middle, and Franco with a big 2-strike hack. Knew as soon as he hit it. I think everybody knew as soon as he hit this one. Watch everybody on defense. Infield didn't even turn around. Jason Worth gave it the token run. But just like that, it's 4-3 Phillies.
Tommy Joseph is next. 0 for 1 against Papelbon, who just gave up his 2nd home run of the year.
Hit speed 103, 396 feet.
So that brings Genmar Gomez into the mix. That ball hadn't even landed yet, and Hector Neris sat down. This one popped up left side. It'll probably be right up the middle by the time the wind gets it, and Murphy now makes the play, 1 out. Next up, Jimmy Paredes. Oh for 3 today. And as a Philly, 4 for 23. 10 games after they got him from Toronto. One pitch. Danny Espinosa has it. 2 down here in the 9th. Cameron Rupp next. Looking ahead to the bottom, it'll be Rendon, maybe Chris Izey, Danny Espinosa after that.
Well, you got a speed guy in Rivera, you got a home run guy in Drew, contact / home run guy in Robinson, and the MVP on your bench. So we'll see what Dusty Baker does in the bottom half.
Cameron Rupp, 1 for 3, 2 RBIs against Papelbon career.
No sign of Bryce yet.
Yet.
Unless he got real skinny and looks like a broomstick handle. You remember that pinch hit homer against the Twins? He was hiding down there like he was in the weeds, just laying there with his helmet on, eye black, ready to go.
Tied the game, and then it only took 7 more innings for Heisey to win it. Papelbon over to cover, but Zimmerman says, I'll take it, and that's it for the Phillies. But Maikel Franco does the damage. So it's Rendon, Heisey, maybe, and then Danny Espinosa. The Nets need a run against Genmar Gomez or more.
Phillies a 4-3 lead. That's home run number 11, Johnny Holiday and Ray Knight. We're set to bring you our Nets Extra post-game show coming up in just a couple of seconds. Only the second home run Pap's given up all year.
Yeah, Johnny, a hanging slider, 79 miles an hour. His slider is 79 to 80, so it has to be located, and he hung it right there. Just a ball that just trying to be hit. Our problem is we had an opportunity to blow this game open early. Heisey got picked off in a deal, actually running. With nobody out. A little surprising move there, and our bats have just been silent the last 5 innings.
So let's see if the Nationals can pull it out here in the bottom of the 9th, or maybe send this thing into extra innings. Let's go back upstairs to Bob and to FP.
All right, thank you. Yeah, Ray, that was a big play. Nats had a 3-run lead. They appeared to be ready to run away from the Phils, and now they're facing the closer, Genmar Gomez, who has 19 saves on the year. He's blown 1. Been pretty solid for them.
Yeah, not a guy that's going to overpower you. Fastball average is just 91 miles an hour. Slider, pretty good one at 83. Change up the out pitch at 84. He'll feature the lefty. So, you know, it's not a guy that you're shaking in your boots as a hitter when you face late in the game. You'd think, based on, you know, seeing him pitch before, and he's not going to throw 100.
Tyler Goodell for defense in left field. Anthony Rendon against Genmar Gomez. Career is 2 for 7. Rendon thinking about bunting. Franco was back, but now it's 0-2.
Well, this is where Anthony Rendon has to protect. In the last 2 days, I've seen something I really haven't seen in him before. Striking out looking. He struck out looking 4 times the last 2 games on fastballs. Granted, the ones yesterday I thought were the top of the zone, borderline high.
Walk first time today, then the 2 looking Ks. That one bending way outside, ball 1. So for the moment, Heisey is in the on-deck circle or near it. And then down to Espinosa, number 8. Chris Heisey does have a couple of career hits against Gomez. Espinosa has 1. Ben Revere right next to Dusty, and he's got a bat in his hands. 2-2.
There he is, lurking, laying in the weeds. He's got his ghillie suit on.
Rendon off to the right side.
Good swing.
Gomez working slowly. 2-2, nobody out. Rendon got jammed, got his hands inside it, but it's going to fall into the glove of Tyler Goodell. They got in there just enough. Heisey being called back. And now that there's nobody on base, the Nats need some power, some pop, and here comes Bryce. We have seen this act before on a Sunday afternoon. Bryce Harper career against Gomez pretty good. A home run, 2 for 4.
The curveball at Citizens Bank earlier in the year, couldn't believe they were pitching to him. It was in the 10th inning and he hit it out to right center field.
Harper 1 for 2 as a pinch hitter this year.
It's a fun at bat for Bryce, nothing to lose. Tee it high, let it fly. $34,294 chanting. Off speed pitch, 2-0. I like the let's go Harper they got going right now. Strong.
Gomez has given up 3 home runs this year. Target is outer half. Harper takes it out there. It's a strike.
Well, you don't want that 2-0 borderline pitch moving away from you. Swing at that with 2 strikes, but not 2-0. He wants something elevated that he can drive. Doubt it's going to be close to him. I mean, you got to be thinking the other way here unless it's just a huge mistake.
Close, 3-1. Espinosa next. And then the pitcher's spot.
Fastball away, see if he can get it there.
Harper to left and out of play. April 24th, bottom of the 9th. Nats down by a run to Minnesota.
That's one of the better moments of the year. That was great at the time, and they would pull it out in 16. Little hug from the skipper.
Yeah, Chris Heisey, the leadoff homer. 7 innings later for a 6-5 win that day. 3-2 to Harper. Pulls it right side to his left. Well gloved by Hernandez. Safe! Scott Berry rules. Joseph was pulled off the bag. I'm sure the Phillies will have a look at this. And we'll see if the tying run is indeed aboard here in the 9th.
Well, you saw Tommy Joseph jump to catch it. And the question was, did he come back down on the bag? Watch him leave his feet. Did he hit the bag? Ooh.
Ooh, that's close.
That's close. And if I'm the Phillies, I'm checking this. Ooh, I don't know. But you look where Scott Berry is. Could he see this? This isn't going to show you because his foot's next to the bag. So if you're looking down the line, you could see if there's a space between his shoe and the base. But if you're Pete McCannon, you have to challenge this. And at the bottom of the 9th, one out, you can't take it with you. And I'm just wondering if there's enough there with Tommy Joseph's shoe on the base to overturn this.
So we'll see if Bryce Harper is 2 for 3 as a pinch hitter. You know, the fact that Joseph came down and then twisted his foot indicates to me that he didn't think he was on the bag.
Yeah, and it's a feel thing, right? This is the one that shows you, I think. Is his foot on the bag? And did Bryce beat it? Yeah, he tried to reach again. It's a great call, Carp. Why would he go back for it with his foot for the second time if he felt it the first time? Drama here in the bottom of the 9th at Nats Park. This is huge. I mean, this isn't like a first inning challenge. This is ball game on the line. Bottom of the 9th inning, 1-run game. Going to take a good look at it in New York. Everyone looking at the replay, playing safe, saying safe. Of course, here at Nats Park, that's what they're going to say. Oh, that was quick.
Bryce Harper beats it out. He's 2 for 3 as a pinch hitter this year. So it's Danny Espinosa. Clint Robinson is already on deck.
Yeah, it didn't look like he went for the bag. And Carp, you nailed it. When he reached for it again, that's like tagging somebody and then going back and tagging him again. Right. He did it with his foot. Yeah, that's off the base. They give him a hit on that?
They did. Yeah, Hernandez had to go a long way for that ball.
All right, game on. Here we go.
So here's Danny Espinosa, 1 for 6 career against Genmar Gomez, who didn't have to wait around too long. Just not that much over a minute to decide it. Espinosa swing and a miss. Danny 1 for 3 today with a right-handed homer into the Phillies bullpen left field.
June 16th, 2011, his only walk-off dater.
And Clint Robinson, he was already out there on deck while the challenge was taking place. Espinosa taps one foul, and now for Danny, here comes that dreaded 2-strike count.
Gomez pretty quick to the plate if you're thinking about Bryce Harper stealing second. Maybe with 2 strikes, you look for a ball in the dirt if you're Bryce. Something bouncing.
Franco's homer, the difference in the game. The Nats have the tying run on here. 1 out, bottom 9. And a fairly deliberate throw over there by Gomez.
I'm surprised that didn't happen already.
He just wanted to throw it over there and not let it get away from Joseph at all. Target is away on 0-2. Espinosa takes it low. Nothing coming easy for Pete McCannon and the Phils lately. 3-12 in their last 15. Danny Espinosa just able to get a piece of it. One and two.
Through the bat. Did you see that? Went all the way toward the on deck circle. Battling, fighting. There it goes.
I guess a nice short flight on the bat means he took a nice short swing at that two-strike pitch to stay alive. Not trying to air things out, making contact. One-two pitch, base hit left field. Danny Espinosa, one of the better two-strike at bats he's had this year. First and second, one out.
Well, I took a page out of Daniel Murphy's book. A little massage single to left field. Nice piece of hit, nice at bat. Good fight won by Danny Espinosa. Now the go-ahead run, the winning run on first base. Look at this extension. Just reach out and touch it. That's beautiful.
Well, that changes something. Clint Robinson back to the dugout. Now the pinch hitter is Ben Revere. He of the contact and speed that the Phillies know so well.
Well, now you need a base hit to tie it up. And you'd think it takes away the threat of a double play by putting the speed of Revere. Bryce Harper getting loose at second, stretching out, ready to run. Danny Espinosa looking for a gapper. Good ball game.
It's going to be a great game for whoever wins. So here's Ben Revere.
The only thing with Revere, and Dusty Baker knows this better than anybody, as an outfielder, I can cheat in right now. I can really cheat in. It's going to be tough to Bryce Harper to score from second base, because you really don't have to respect any sort of gap power with Revere. And you look at the outfield right now, they're cheating way in.
Yeah, Peter Board just put his arms out to get something from the dugout. And then after he heard from them, he actually backed up 3 steps.
Well, it does open up some gaps.
Revere 3 for 6 against Gomez career, ball 1. It's his first pinch hitting appearance of the season.
I mean, there's rally napkins all over the field. One's about to crush Ben Revere. Look out.
We just lost some paperwork from the booth in that last gust.
That's a good sign. It almost hit the hitter.
2 on, 1 out. 1-0 pitch. As many hits in this inning as in the previous 6. High strike. 1-2.
The changeup 83 with some fade at the end. I don't think Ben Revere thought that got played.
Revere to left. It'll back up Goodell. 2 outs. Now Michael A. Taylor is being called back, and Clint Robinson will pinch hit. May 9th, Clint Robinson walked off here at the ballpark.
Against the Tigers, got a fastball up and in and sent us all home happy. He thought it was the 8th inning. He realized when he came around first that it was a walk-off home run. He was so locked into the game and that at-bat that he didn't know what inning it was. Clint, it's the 8th inning right now, buddy. Go get him.
That was with 1 out. Right after a bizarre sequence when Bryce Harper had just been ejected. Clint Robinson 1 for 4 career with an RBI against Genmar Gomez.
But he hasn't given any lefties anything to pull. You remember Bryce's sequence, everything fading away, the fastball fading away, the changeup, same to Espinosa. He had to really reach out and hit that one to left. And you feel like Clint Robinson seeing that to a bunch of lefties in front of him. Even Ben Revere knows that he's probably not going to get anything to pull. So your mindset is, hey, let it get deep, right between short and third.
2-0.
And you look where Freddie Galvis is playing. He's up the middle. Maikel Franco's playing, I think, fairly shallow in a situation like this. And that 5.5 hole is wide open between short and third. And that's where he's pitching him. Can't aim it, but if you're going to pitch me away, you better play me away.
2-0. Jason Worth on deck. And the inside move, but nobody there other than Harper. Two-0 pitch. Robinson ripping. It's off to the left side.
I'll tell you what, when you're home, this is a situation where the crowd can really put some heat on the opposing closer.
Three and one.
Close. But you see where everything is. Show the pitch track if you get a chance. I mean, Gomez isn't even throwing anything on the plate. It's all off the plate away. I don't know if he wants Jason Worth and to put the winning run at second, but look at the sequence. Everything down and away. Fish ain't biting. Now, if you're Clint Robinson, something with a little plate away that you can drive in a left center field.
Bases loaded with 2 outs.
That's a big league at bat, man. Tell you what, Carp, to control your emotion with the game on the line like that,
yeah,
and to take a walk is not an easy thing to do off the bench. That's a good at bat by Clint Robinson,
who was 4 for 16 as a pinch hitter coming into that one. No place to put Jason Worth if the Phillies are to hold on for the win. Worth career 1 for 3 against Genmar Gomez.
Well, here you go. Stand up and cheer. Make some noise. Jason Worth has a chance to beat his old ball club right here, right now.
Well, they've been rough on Papelbon. Worth's been rough on the Phils. On base 3 times today. 2 walks, a run, a base hit. High in the zone, strike one.
He's taken all the way after the walk to Robinson.
Way outside, didn't miss by much of throwing that ball away. Counts even, 1-1.
Been there, done that. He can't take it anymore.
Ball 2 way outside. Now a huge pitch coming up.
Well, it looks to me like Janmar Gomez is more comfortable to the arm side. So he's trying to pitch away to Jason Worth. It just ain't happening right now. Jason might get something close that he can pull down the left field line at 2-1 count.
Crowd on its feet here, looking for a dramatic bottom of the 9th rally.
It also looks to me like Gomez is wishing it in there, not just letting it rip.
Tying run, third base Harper. Winning run, second base Espinoza. So great speed for the runners that matter here. 2-1. That's a strike, even though Rupp doesn't catch it. You don't see that often.
It's a good pitch. It was a strike. Rupp didn't catch it, but it was right down the middle, bottom of the zone.
Two now. Nationals walk off the Phillies for the sweep. Are they going to leave the ballpark by the time they're done?
They're attacking Jason Worth in right field right now, and this place is losing its mind. How about that one? Put that on Nats Classic this winter. Jason Worth with a clutch at bat, and the best pitch of the sequence was the last one he got. The 2-1 pitch was a strike, but it was down. Watch this, right down Broadway. You can't put it on a tee any better than that. And Jason Worth right back up the middle. Danny Espinoza with a tremendous secondary lead. Give him credit at second base for a good primary, a good secondary lead, and scoring easily on the Jason Worth single. Dusty Baker and the boys going nuts as they sweep the Phillies and have tremendous momentum going into the Cubs series. Was that any fun?
One closer is the winner. The other closer blows the save and is the loser. And the Nationals now are a season high 15 games over 500. They've won 10 of 13. And welcome to Washington, Chicago Cubs. It should really be something starting tomorrow night.
Well, enjoy the ride, folks. It's happening again. This is great.
Jonathan Papelbon with the win goes 1-2 on the season. Gomez with the loss, he's 2-2. And with Jason Worth, here's Dan.
Thank you very much, Bob. Oh, he'll take it. Man, you got battered out there. What type of damage did they do to you in the outfield?
Well, I knew I was in trouble when I saw the Strangler coming at me.
Who's the Strangler?
You know, the DC Strangler.
Oh. We'll move off that. Jason, you get to 2-2 in that at bat against Gomez. What are you looking for? You know, you're getting deep into that bat, and he doesn't want to go to 3-2. I'm imagining.
Yeah, I mean, this time of day it's tough to see, so I wanted to see a pitch. Yeah, I got a strike call on the second strike. I knew I had to battle after that. He stayed with the fastball, and we got him. We got him.
We got him. You've been in clutch situations a number of times over the course of your career, but what are your emotions like as you're standing in the batter's box? That's an at-bat that every hitter dreams of.
Oh, man, I'm just trying to go brain dead up there. That's about it. Dreaming. That's what dreams are made of. Let's go.
Jason's done. Back up to you, Bob.
Yeah, and so are the Phillies, Dan. Thank you. You're done for the day. Nicely done. So for Dan Coco at P. Santangelo, I'm Bob Carpenter. Take that into your Sunday evening and your work week. The Nats sweep the Phillies, and they're now 39-24 on the year. The Cubs are here tomorrow night. Max Scherzer and Kyle Hendricks. What a series that should be, especially on the heels of something like this. This has been a presentation of Asson. Johnny Holiday and Ray Knight are excited to get this thing going in a moment on Nets Extra Postgame. And from an excited Nationals Park, see you later.